Today I took some time to play around with the robot car and learn to actually, well, one of the things I wanted to do is control the speed of it because it was always going, flooring it. No matter what you're doing. So it's like, this doesn't make sense. So I started looking at code and stuff like that and said, hey, how do we do this? Because if we go back to the main make the car move, this PDF, let me find the code. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So, it talks about the L298 motor drive, blah, blah, blah. Then we get to make the car move. We will try to move the motor without speed controlling because it's easy to write program without speed controlling. It would have taken less effort to actually write it with speed controlling than writing that second sentence. Turns out, I had to dig into another PDF. It finally actually talks about the controlling the speed and using PWM, which it mentioned briefly earlier, but it said, so you use pulse width modulation, and it basically turns off and turns on using a square wave. So it's basically creating a digital signal, but more like on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off. Kind of like an LED, when they're dimming it, they don't actually, because LED is a diode, it's either on or it's off. So what they do for an LED to dim it is, depending on the frequency, you can have it off a little more than on, and it'll be dim and so forth. But then you have the problem with flickering and stuff like that. But anyway, that's basically what this is doing. So you all you have to do is, instead of using a digital write value with the pin and the value, you just use analog write, and your value is between 0 and 255 right here. Now the kicker is you have to use on this Uno is only on digital pins of 3, 5, 6, 9, and 11. And then it says, oh, we're going to be using pin 10 and 5, but I looked at the code that they provided, and the code uses 11. I was trying to get it to move, and it would half work, because the 5 would work, but the 10 wouldn't. I believe it should have been 11. So anyway, enough on that. Plus, while trying to dig into this and trying to figure out how this works and what goes to where, I said, hey, you know what, they have this where is it? The specification document. I thought I opened it. Module specification. Yeah, so let me show you what, so I said, oh, okay, cool. I'll look at the module specification. Oh, wait. Okay, well. Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah, I think, keep scrolling. Maybe they have an English version. So, the answer is no. That didn't really help me much. But anyway, back to the code. The fun part. We actually got to have a little fun today. So, I took some of the code from their Bluetooth one, because they moved everything to module, so we have a forward module and backward. And I decided I'm going to use not the same speed everywhere, but I'm going to go ahead and use this value they set up with 150. That's the value that can be between 0 and 255. So, you want 255, you just put high, do a digital write, boom. Or you want 0, digital write, low, boom. So we've got code for forward, back, left. Now what I did is I added ability to pass in a value for the speed, because one thing I wanted to do, you'll see, I wanted to go a little faster for turning left or right. So then I wrote a function called fig8, which basically goes forward and then makes a right, and then goes a little forward and makes a right, and then goes forward and makes a right, and so forth until it has to start making lefts. So you're basically going into like almost a circle and then reverse that. Then this is where I wanted to do the spinning, but I didn't. I wanted to go left. I wanted to go a lot faster than 150, so I made that one value as 240, so it'll pass in 240 as the. So we got spin right, spin left, and then I wrote just a circle left, which just goes forward, left, and but it's slower. So it's not whipping around like full on right the whole time or left all the time, but moves a little forward at the same time. So not at the same time, but interchange. So let's see. So here's the main loop now, which I just have to call the figure 8 twice. I call the right, and I stop, and then I call left, and then I stop. And the reason I don't have to have the delays after the spinning is the delays built into the spin. And then finally stop for 2 seconds. So here's what that looks like. Now I'll switch back to the other. I did write another program. It's called Robot Car Move Later. So this one I still have all the same code, except for I just put in this here just to get a little fun with it. So that's it. Basically, you just have to for controlling it like this. I don't know if I'm going to do the Bluetooth because I'll have to load an APK on my phone or some Android device and control it. And I'm really not interested in having a Bluetooth controlled remote control car because I've had remote control cars before. Same thing with the infrared. I don't see doing that. What I might do next, probably will do next, is try getting the ultrasonic sensor working and see if we can get it to avoid obstacles. So that might prove interesting. So that's it for today. Later. No. Hey, where you going? Come back here. Hey. Ooh.